time for a change.
I'm telling you right now, this is gonna skyrocket.
Enough with the suits.
Warren Buffett? More like Little Miss Muffet.
This is the digital age.
Transfer my money or I swear to...
The power is at your fingertips.
I'm up $2,000 today, and I kid you not, I've got no clue why.
Welcome to CorTrades.
All right, this is very exciting. Thanks again to Brendan Duarte for voicing that intro. Did you guys like it? I believe every single time that plays, I have to credit benmusic.com so I don't get sued. So that's where I found that music bed. But it was very triumphant. My associate here, Tompkins, a.k.a. Austin Platts. Yes, I'm Burns. But we actually are trying to do something here for you. Stock market's a new frenzy, right? Sports betting took over our craze right when we left college. Now we're all getting paid, right? We're in the workforce. We're making money for ourselves. I'm not in the workforce, right? But we've got some spending cash, and there's no better way to invest. Like, I think, Austin, and you can kind of touch on this, I've been kicking myself. I can't understand why we didn't get into, investing our money, even as little as just a couple $100, like back in college.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I didn't start until the pandemic hit and everything crashed. And
Same.
I had like literally $1,000 to my name. And I'm like, all right, I guess I should start now, right? Like everything's as low as they're ever going to be. And it's worked out well, as we know, the stock market being on an absolute tear ever since, which then got us addicted. And we're kind of on a high right now. Let's just say that.
Mondays are the new Fridays. Like, I look forward to seeing how stocks are going to perform the new week. It's funny. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to discuss like some platforms and tools. Many of you probably started on Robinhood. You may or may not have, seen their total public, catastrophe, right? So I got out of Robinhood, right? They were testifying in front of Congress today. We'll touch on that briefly. But what are some tools that you look for, Austin, when you look at a stock? Like, let's just say, a popular one, Apple. What are you doing to kind of research a company, check it out before you decide you're going to buy into this company and invest?
Well, there's so many different ways to invest. You have, how risky you want to be. Is it long-term? Is it swing trading, or is it day trading?
Right.
And I'm more on the swing trade type, long-term, kind of in the middle. And Dave Portnoy is a day trader. Do you do some day trading?
So I think I would agree with you. I'm more of a swing trader. Like, I like to pick my spots. Like, if I think something's being undervalued or if I think something's about to shoot out, I'll take some profits. If I think something's about to take a dip, right? If it gets overvalued and people start selling. I'm with you. I'm very rarely doing a day trade unless it is something like crazy, like where I think, okay, there's going to be a shoot up here and I got to get out before it crashes, which is what we saw, the phenomena, which kind of is a reason why a lot of people are now into, right. The pandemic for us was what got us into it. Recently, it was the retail trading frenzy. It was GameStop that got all these new guys into the stock market, right? So that would be the only example of day trading. I think I'm with you where we pick our spots.
Yeah, I mean, unless you get some juicy info from, Jack Sparrow on Twitter, definitely not day trading. But I kind of have the philosophy of trying to find undervalued stocks that I think are going to 2x double your money in the next year. And I kind of follow this dude on YouTube who's just an absolute genius. He's had like over 100% returns the last 5 years. And it's all about finding the stock that no one really knows about yet or no one has appreciated. And then, you get in and for a fact that this company is undervalued. So it's bound to go up soon. And a lot of people that are new to it will just hop in when it gets high. You know what I mean? Like, it starts to skyrocket. Oh, I got to jump in. And as soon as they do, it'll go back down. Mm-hmm. So it scares people away. And I try to avoid that, even though it is tough to not hop on some of these trains. But everybody's investing now, and it's all about finding, the next stock that'll, double your money.
And I think my like golden rule would be if you're going to buy into a stock, give yourself a reason why. Okay, I want to do this. Why? Like a sentence or two. Like, I'll get into this. I do because people have reached out to me about SNDL, and we'll just throw out. We're not going to hit you with our entire portfolios, but we're just going to kind of talk about stocks that are in the news. And then we'll end with like stocks that we are going to buy, keep an eye on. Like we'll say, here's a reason why, and then you usually want to give a time frame. Like, hey, I expect it to go to here. So SNDL, I wanted to talk about because it's a pot company, and the reason I got into it, and I think there were a lot of people did, was people expect Joe Biden to legalize pot at least at some federal level. More and more states, even red states, which are conservative, may or may not enjoy pot, are starting to put it on their ballots. So I think once Colorado went legal, that's when like pot stocks really like started hitting the market, and then they just tanked. Like I remember getting into them thinking it was like great investment, and maybe it was because I didn't know enough back then, but I would lose, as much percentage on a day. And then I thought, oh, you know what? Maybe weed's never coming here. But this is basically a bet. Like my reason for SNDL is I think pot's going to be obviously a hotly traded stock eventually.
Yeah, and I agree with you. There's some stocks that you just know are going to go up long term a shit ton.
Yeah.
Whether it be artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, pot, everything that's not here now but will be in the future. So I'm actually in a pot stock too. It was in the promo. It's called Planet 13. They're the biggest dispensary in the nation, and they're on the Las Vegas Strip. It's like it's an experience going there.
Mm-hmm.
They have restaurants, they have everything you could ever imagine. And a lot of people thought they were going to go out of business with Corona, and they completely changed their business model. They started doing delivery, and now I think they actually ended up profitable by a good amount last year. So they're opening another location, and I think it's in Florida, but I could be wrong. So that's my pot stock.
And what's awesome about that is you want to jump in on stuff that is going to be like, you want to be in on Tesla before it's 800, right? So that's all the thing. Like pot stocks are relatively low right now. That's why what's interesting. So SNDL, there's two terms you need to know: bear, bull. Bull, let's fucking go. I think this is going to be awesome. This is the market we want to hit. Bear, I don't know. I think I'm getting out. I don't know. So I'm attacking this from two angles. Here's my bull perspective on SNDL, which I got into at 56 cents. So throwing some numbers here, I'll just whiz through it. You got to know that stocks go up and down. That's another rule I want to say is like, you can't just, if you want to get in the stocks, you just can't immediately the first day you're in the red, just shit your pants and say, this isn't for me. So SNDL, this is over the last couple of months. It went from 17 cents, jumped up to 45 cents. And here's what I kind of do. It's RSI. One of the platforms I use is TradingView, where I kind of put in ticker symbols and I could see past performance, whether stocks are overvalued, buying power, etc. So that was one big jump from 45 cents. It comes back down to 26 cents. It hit 80. Back down to 48. This is kind of when I got in at 26 cents, or I got in at 56 cents. 2 weeks later, it hit $3. And this was a craze where a lot of people got in. I had 1,200 shares. People got in. It's currently dipping for the last 8 days. I keep saying hold. I haven't hit it. So we're right now at 145 as it closed. But so I'm still bullish on this, but I will give you a bear aspect of this, and I'll pose this question to you, Austin. Is this a retail stock? Because I think I got in before that the Reddit craze followed it, but then all of a sudden it got lumped in with all the news articles, and la-di-da, all of a sudden starts tanking.
I was going to say, that's impressive that you were in it before that craze happened. But is it, I think, kind of, because everybody and their mom that was a part of, those meme stocks was on SNDL. And I mean, yeah, it's gone down, but some people would say now is the time to buy. And you were totally right when saying if it goes down a little bit to knock it out, because, especially when you're young, you have to be the most riskiest you are in your life. in your mid-20s.
Sure.
And to have high gains, you have to have high lows too. It's all about the roller coaster. And you just have to know that, you're risking it to make a lot in the long run.
And I'm saying this as from experience. I got out. So I got in at March and got out before the election because I thought, holy shit, what's going to happen? And it tanked. What did it do? It skyrocketed. So you're kicking yourself for getting out. Yeah, so exactly. And again, we have to say we're not financial advisors, and this is discretionary income, right? This is spending money that we're looking to make money off of by investing. Let's talk about Bitcoin very briefly. It's over 50,000. Again, another huge day today. We were kind of talking about this on Winging It, which I encourage you to check out episode 16 too. But like, what are the projections, right? We're thinking like, what number could we possibly think this is going to hit? Hundreds of thousands? Like, is this going to be unprecedented?
Yeah, before we start to talk about that, I just want to say as well, I have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about half the time. So don't take anything I say, take it with a grain of salt. Bitcoin, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. I've seen projections that it'll hit a million. And, the Winklevosses are like, for a fact, those brothers are like, it's going to hit 500K, in the next 10 years. And I believe them. I mean, if you ask anybody, are you going to sell Bitcoin if it goes down a little bit? Who's going to say yes? You know what I mean? It's
right.
So people look at it as it's such a good asset. Who's just going to sell it? And, you have these bigger, firms putting in a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's going to be, in my opinion, a snowball effect where as these bigger companies acknowledge it as something that's real and not just, a joke or whatever, it's going to become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I honestly think in 1 year from now, we're going to look back and say, wow, it was at 50K.
I know. Like, I think it could be exactly 250. I think it could be 300K. Couple things on that too. And you just illustrated that it's going to be currency. Like, Tesla's accepting it as a form of payment for their vehicles. They invested in it $1.5 billion that's on their balance sheet. Uber has already said they're going to accepting it as a form of payment. And you alluded to it. It's a domino effect because every single company is going to be like, well, shit, okay, I'm going to accept it. They don't want to miss out on because they'll feel behind the times. And that's how you eventually go out of business. On that note, DocuSign, I'm in on, I got in on this because obviously coronavirus made like e-signatures like the biggest thing in the nation. I'm trying to look back at what it was in March. Oh my God, here we go. DocuSign was trading at $74 back in March. It's currently at $260. And I think it's keep going up. That's just one of those plays where it's like, you got to find your market.
Dude, honestly, some of these stocks and some of these cryptocurrencies will 10x in just a couple months. And you look at yourself and you're like, why couldn't I find that one? You know what I mean? It's all about finding the stock that'll boom. And, a lot of it has to do with following the right people.
Poking around, following guys you like.
Because it's tough to do your own research, but when you have geniuses doing it for you, it helps a lot too.
And also just like, I think I still have the Robinhood app just because they have the news tab, so I could just kind of see, because it shows stocks that are kind of in the news. It'll tell you what the Dow is doing that day. Like, just throw if you're not reading the Wall Street Journal, I don't think anyone's reading papers anymore, but just kind of go on Twitter. Just keep up in the know,
You bring up Robinhood, and I just have to say this real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I will never use that app again. I deleted it off my phone. They literally stole money from me. And like what you said, if whatever you invest at a high risk, be willing to lose it. So it's not the end of the world, but fuck you, Robinhood.
And on that note, so the congressional hearings, the buzz is kind of over it. I watched, I think, one clip of Vlad just sounding like a freaking hostage, and he wouldn't even answer the yes or no. I mean, it's the same thing. It's in sports and finance. And Adam Silver just came on and said we need an all-star game because it's in the spirit of basketball. People are dying, bro. It's in the spirit of money for you guys. Vlad, what's his face, goes on here. Your Honor, no, we did this in the spirit of our company. I mean, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do, and it just goes to show that, people with money have the most power, and like you literally can't do anything. But I actually didn't watch or hear anything about it too much. How long is it, and was it just him beating around the bush the whole time?
Yeah, it's like Senate hearings. It's basically like a panel of senators just asking questions and literally him just like reading a prepared statement, not going off. It's a complete waste of time. I do want to talk about Tesla, which has been in a bit of a slide here as I pull up their recent info. So Elon Musk is interesting because he's totally using his, powerful backing on Twitter to kind of pump stocks, would it be? Yeah, I was shocked to learn, my God, back in March, Tesla was what? When it hit the bottom, it was, good Lord, is this right? It was at $90. Well, I guess they split too.
Yeah, I think they did the 5-to-1 split, so it was higher and split down to, whatever. But I was in Tesla about 2 weeks before the split, and I think I made like 50% of my money or something. Yeah. And then a couple days after the split, I got out, and I was like, all right, I made my money. And then I think it's over doubled again since that time. And it's one of those times when you just kick yourself and you're like, why did I get out of Tesla? And it's, you almost want to jump back in to put it as one of your long-term stocks, but it's like, oh my God, the P ratio is 1600.
Right.
How could I hop in a stock like that? So, I mean, it is cool that is it below 800 now?
So I've got it for you right here. On the 16th of November, it was at 408. And then, 2 months later, it hit 900.
Yeah.
So it's at 787 right now, and I've got a little prediction for you. How about that? I need a little stock bell. I've got Tesla hitting 1,500 by April. No, I'm not even kidding. So the RSI right now, so when it hit its high, way overvalued. It hit like over 80 RSI, and that was when it hit 900. So it is rightfully corrected down to 792. But dude, you're laughing. We're talking 16th of November, and then it doubled itself. What if it doubles again in not 2 months, 4 months? I'm telling you, a little prediction here.
What's the RSI at right now? Like
it is down to almost it's at 46. Last time it hit 40 was when Tesla was 442.
Yeah, okay. So for people that don't know, when it's over 70, it's overbought, and when it's under 30, it's, underbought. So, I could see it happening. Elon Musk is honestly the most influential man in the world. He's one of my role models. And the coolest thing about him is that, like, he has that persona. Like, he just doesn't give a fuck that he's the richest man in the world.
Right.
And all he wants to do is better the world. And when you have a leader like that people believe in, the sky's the moon. So if it's under $800, I might buy a share, just to be able to root for him. You know what I mean? So,
I think I bought one share when it was at its high, so I'm like down like 8% now, but I'm holding that share, and I think I'm just going to keep it at 1. Like, that's the beauty of it too, is like, that's obviously an expensive stock. You can buy halves of it, which is what I've done with Amazon in the past. So I don't know. I just think I'm kind of with you. I just didn't want to miss out on the parade. I think we are going to have a big jump here.
You can buy half a share?
Yeah, on Amazon, I think I bought like a half share of Amazon, which is like 3,200 or something. Bitcoin, you can obviously buy like tenths of stuff.
I guess it depends on whatever your trading platform is. But so yeah, the thing with buying stocks too is you're technically a small portion owner of the company. So, you can buy a couple shares of a stock and root for the company. You know what I mean? And then we get down to, all right, well, how many stocks should you own? And I think I own maybe 12 total. And what do you own? Like 60?
Of what? Sorry.
How many stocks you own?
Yeah, so I'm diversified, as those like to call it. But no, so to your point too, I kind of, depending on the stock price, I like to go in multiples of 5, like penny stocks. I mean, I might own SNDL, by the way. I have no idea. But so I like to go like Tesla, yeah, DocuSign, I have like 5, which is DocuSign's like 200. I have like 5 shares of it, et cetera. And it's all about just kind of making sure you're not too over on your portfolio, not too overexposed. Like I feel like I have a little bit too much Adobe right now, but it's a long play, so I'm just holding it.
Well, I feel like when you have too many stocks, it's almost overwhelming. It's like, oh, this stock's up here. Oh, I'm down here. I have more money in there, but less money in here. How
But
do
it
you
helps balance you out.
I understand that, but do you ever look at how much you've made that day and just kind of go, huh, how did that all work out?
Sure, it's in the intro. Like today, I'd be honest. So I think it was when we were recording Winging It, I had that 2K day. And then yesterday, and here's what's so funny about the market is in the morning, I'm like, oh God, I was down. So I was basically down 2K. I was like coming back to the mean. And then we had a late day surge, only lost a couple $100. And then I thought we were going to have a good day today. And it was just, not that great. I lost, I think like 1,500, like a couple percent. But it's all about just kind of, you can't panic. Like, so you got to know your bottom line. I put in 45K and now I hit as high as 56K. Now I'm back down to 53 and, I can't panic like that. Spotify is a company I'm holding for long because I think they're about to take over. Like they could be the Amazon of digital audio.
Shopify's got earnings too this week. I don't know.
God.
I think they're going down though.
Yeah. Did you see
earnings? Sometimes it goes down before and sometimes it goes up a shit ton before because obviously the earnings coming out. But then a lot of the times you'll see it go down when they have amazing earnings.
Right.
And I think it's just people riding that wave and then bailing. And it's kind of bullshit in my opinion.
I have one share of Shopify, which is like 1,300 or like 1,100 or something. And I just saw a fucking article where like their CEO was like, yeah, I mean, we grew a lot this year, so you guys can't expect us to do that. I was like hovering over the sell button. I was like, holy crap. All right, we'll get you out of here. CorTrades, the first episode, we're going to try and do this twice a week. Austin usually towards the end of the week because he's got a job as well. So let's get out of here with a couple of buys. To your point, I'm sticking with the pot kind of theme of this. Symbol KERN. I'm on this holding long, sticking with SNDL. I think pot companies are going to be the future. I think you're going to 5 times your money. Weed with Biden. This is a stock that is in the 10s. Like it's not even there. I'm going to actually check it up here just to make sure to get that price. It's at 714 right now. I really think that this can hit 14 eventually. Back on June of 19, there was a spike where it hit 50. I think that's when a couple states went for pot. Again, it's just a play on pot there for me.
I'll give you a couple of picks. Long term, I'll plan a 13 like I was talking. It's ticker symbol PLNHF. It's at $7 right now. Buy a few, why not?
Sure.
And then a shorter play, like a year hold, I'm gonna go with Walgreens, which is ticker symbol WBA. And a lot of people, are expecting the COVID shots to go to Walgreens and CVS. So obviously people are gonna buy stuff there too. And this guy that I follow thinks that it's gonna double in the next year, at the minimum. So this isn't like your 10x play, but this is definitely, in my opinion, a really good, safe play that'll probably double, and it's extremely, extremely undervalued. So yeah, those are my 2.
I got you like this? A little blank check company, my favorite. It's like, what do you guys do? All right, whatever. BFT ticker symbol, little November IPO. I got 3 to 4 months this doubling. It's at 17 right now. It initially IPO'd at $9 and it hit all the way up to 19 in 2 months. I think this stock is going to keep going up. Last one, BSBK. I've got like 2.5 months to surpass $12. It's a 2020 IPO that got nailed by Corona. I can only imagine, what that has done to those people's hairlines when they had to endure those for a couple months. It opened at 12, tanked immediately, half to 6. It's back up to 9. I think it's going to go back to 12 in about 2.5 months.
What would BFT? You said it's a blank check. What is it?
Be a blank check company, like holding companies where you've heard of SPACs where they try and take companies. This is basically they're like basically waiting for the next big thing to where they could take another company public. Hope you guys enjoyed CorTrades here. First episode, Austin Platts, aka Tompkins. I'm Burns, Dylan Corbet. Think a lot of good stuff there. So again, we're going to create a Twitter account, probably Instagram. Shoot us ticker symbols you want us to talk about. We'll do some research for you. Austin's going to be usually towards the end of the week. We'll post this on a Friday. I'll also double time at the beginning of the week too. But yeah, we'll take feedback, whatever you want, listener submissions, etc. And hope you enjoyed the ride of the stock market with us. Did you have something there? No?
Yeah, you can end it.
All right, good. I'll edit that out. This has been CorTrades. Appreciate it. We will talk to you next week.